Welcome to our deep dive on the in-network insurance trap in dental billing. In this video, we will explain why so many patients receive unexpected charges even when they use in-network providers. And we will show you how to protect yourself. We will move step by step, starting with a clear agenda, then a quick disclaimer, and afterward we will uncover how coverage actually works, why coding confusion happens, and how to use your explanation of benefits to hold providers accountable. Here is the plan. First, we will spotlight the in-network trap. Next, we will define what covered actually means in practice. Then, we will break down why code confusion occurs. After that, we will give you a simple call-first action plan. We will then teach you how to read your explanation of benefits. Finally, we will test your knowledge with quick quizzes and wrap up with key takeaways. This content is educational and not legal, medical, or financial advice. Policies, contracts, and regulations differ across insurers, employers, and states. Before making decisions, consult your insurance company, your plan documents, and, if needed, a qualified professional. We will offer general strategies, but your specific coverage and obligations depend on your contract terms. In-network status simply means your provider has agreed to a contracted fee schedule with your insurer. However, this does not guarantee that you will pay nothing or even a low amount. You can still owe a deductible, a percentage coinsurance, amounts above your annual maximum, or differences due to usual and customary rate limits. Therefore, while in-network offers a discount structure, it does not eliminate financial responsibility. Covered means the plan recognizes the service and may pay a portion according to your policy rules. First, you meet your deductible, meaning you pay out of pocket until that threshold is satisfied. Next, coinsurance applies, such as 80% by the insurer and 20% by you for basic services. In addition, there is often an annual maximum. Once the plan pays up to that ceiling, you are fully responsible for subsequent costs during that plan year. There are also frequency limits that restrict how often certain services are paid. Consequently, in-network status does not mean zero cost. It simply means that a contracted rate applies. This flowchart walks through a typical claim. First, the patient receives treatment. Then, the dental office submits a claim including procedure codes. Next, the insurer adjudicates the claim by checking whether the deductible has been met, what coinsurance percentage applies, whether a least expensive alternative provision reduces payment, whether a usual and customary rate limit caps the allowed amount, and whether the annual maximum has been reached. After these checks, the insurer calculates the allowed amount and the patient responsibility. The insurer then issues an explanation of benefits detailing the breakdown. If the EOB suggests the provider exceeded the contracted rate or made errors, the patient should contact the insurer. The insurer can enforce the contract and may require corrections or refunds from the provider. Code confusion occurs for several reasons. Some plans apply a least expensive alternative provision that pays as if a lower cost material or method were used, effectively reducing reimbursement. Plans may also rely on a usual and customary rate limit, which sets a maximum allowed amount regardless of the provider's charge. Dental offices frequently provide optimistic estimates that do not factor in a remaining deductible, coinsurance percentages, or proximity to the annual maximum. Disputes may arise from bundling or unbundling of services, which changes how the claim is evaluated. Finally, insufficient narratives or missing documentation can reduce the insurer's payment. Before major treatment, call your insurer directly. Verify that your provider is in network for your plan. Ask your current remaining deductible and your remaining annual maximum. Confirm the coverage tier for each likely procedure code and whether a least expensive alternative provision could reduce payment. Request the plan's allowed amount or an estimate from the fee schedule for those codes. Ask about UCR limits and whether they vary by your geographic area. Record the date, the representative's name, and a reference number, including every detail discussed. If available, seek a predetermination or pre-authorization to obtain a more reliable preview of costs. This table shows key EOB fields. First, review the billed charge, which is the provider's full price. Next, check the allowed amount to confirm it matches the contracted schedule or UCR limit and that any downcoding is noted. Then, verify the deductible applied against what you know remains. Confirm the coinsurance matches your plan's percentage for that service category. Ensure the plan paid amount equals the allowed amount minus your share. Validate that the patient responsibility aligns with the contract and does not exceed allowed amounts. Finally, read notes for explanations, including least expensive alternative provisions, denials, or bundling adjustments. This sequence diagram outlines roles and timing. The patient gets treatment, and the dental office may provide an estimate. The office submits a coded claim to the insurer, which acknowledges receipt and performs adjudication using deductible, coinsurance, LEAT, UCR, and annual maximum rules. The insurer issues an explanation of benefits to the patient and pays the provider according to the allowed amount. The patient then compares the EOB to the bill. If there is a discrepancy, the patient contacts the insurer. The insurer can enforce the contract and request corrections from the dental office, leading to an adjusted bill or refund. Use these templates to streamline communication. First, request the EOB and the allowed amounts from your insurer for the relevant claim and date of service. Next, use the coverage verification call script before treatment to confirm deductible, annual maximum, coverage percentages, allowed amounts, LEAT, and any UCR caps. Finally, if your EOB indicates an overcharge, send a concise written dispute to the provider referencing the allowed amount and requesting an adjustment or written explanation within a clear time frame. Quiz time. The question is, if your plan says a filling is covered at 80%, what does that most accurately mean? Option A, it will be free at any in-network dentist. Option B, the insurer may pay 80% of the allowed amount after the deductible, and you owe the rest. Option C, you will only pay a $20 copay. Option D, the dentist must accept whatever the insurer pays and you owe nothing. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is that the insurer may pay 80% of the allowed amount after your deductible is met, and you owe the remaining portion. Covered does not equal free. The insurer's share is calculated from the allowed amount and is subject to your deductible and annual maximum. Next quiz. The question is, what is the definitive document that shows your actual patient responsibility for a dental claim? Option A, the dentist's treatment plan estimate. Option B, your plan's marketing brochure. Option C, the explanation of benefits, also known as the EOB. Option D, a verbal quote from the front desk. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is the explanation of benefits. The EOB is the official document that itemizes the allowed amounts, plan payments, adjustments, and your responsibility. Estimates, brochures, and verbal quotes are not definitive. This mind map places dental bill outcome at the center. One branch covers plan rules, including deductible, coinsurance, annual maximum, and frequency limits. Another branch is insurer policies, such as least expensive alternative provisions, usual and customary rate caps, and potential downcoding. The next branch is provider factors, like adherence to the fee schedule, thorough documentation, and bundling practices. The final branch is patient actions, including verifying details before treatment, requesting the EOB, comparing charges to the contracted rate, and disputing overcharges. Together, these factors determine what you ultimately pay. Watch for these warning signs. If your bill exceeds the allowed amount on the EOB, that is a red flag. If a provider claims insurance did not pay, but the EOB shows denial due to documentation or a least expensive alternative, seek clarification. Be wary of estimates that ignore remaining deductible or proximity to the annual maximum. Question added lab or material fees that do not appear on the EOB. Finally, insist on receiving the EOB. Do not accept demands for full payment without documentation. Comparing an office estimate to an explanation of benefits reveals critical differences. Office estimates are often optimistic, may omit deductible and annual maximum considerations, are not legally binding, and can rely on assumptions or outdated fee information. In contrast, the EOB is the official adjudication record that shows the allowed amount, adjustments, and patient responsibility. It is tied to the contract between the insurer and provider and serves as the foundation for disputes and corrections. To conclude, call your insurer before undergoing major treatment and do not rely solely on the dental office's estimate. Verify your deductible, coinsurance, annual maximum, least expensive alternative provisions, and usual and customary rate limits. Obtain the explanation of benefits, because it defines your responsibility. Compare your provider's bill to the EOB allowed amount, and dispute any excess immediately. Remember, insurers hold the contract with in-network providers and can enforce compliance. Thank you for watching. If this helped you understand and control your dental costs, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments how you used your EOB to resolve a bill, or what questions you still have. Your experiences can help others avoid unexpected charges.